You wake up before your alarm, not because you want to, but because your body creates its own adrenaline just to face the day. 6 a.m. Check the phone, emails, Slack, the market. Your brain is already running a marathon before your feet touch the floor. You earn well. By every statistical metric, you are the top 1%. You have the title. You have the respectable car. You have the right address. On paper, you are the definition of success. But let's be brutally honest for a second. Why does freedom feel further away today than it did when you were making half as much? You aren't struggling to pay bills. You are struggling to maintain a machine that consumes all your energy just to stay idle. There's a quiet, terrifying thought you don't like to admit at dinner parties. If I stop running, everything collapses. In the next few minutes, we represent the engineering behind this trap. We aren't going to talk about budgeting or saving on coffee. We're going to look at your financial life as a system, and you will see why your good salary is actually the single point of failure designed to keep you busy forever. Let's dismantle the biggest lie you were told. If you earn enough, you will be free. You studied, you specialized, you entered the market and made yourself valuable. The market rewarded you. Your income grew, 6 figures, maybe even 7, and naturally, your lifestyle followed. This is what society calls winning. But here's the contradiction that no one discusses at business school. The more you earn, the more fragile your entire ecosystem becomes. Think about your life right now. If your income stopped today, completely flatlined, how long could you maintain your current reality? 3 months? 6 months? For most high earners, the answer is terrifyingly short. This is the paradox. You have high cash flow, but zero redundancy. You have built a massive financial engine that requires premium fuel every single month. This isn't progress, this is compression. You have traded flexibility for luxury. You have traded margin for status. And when you feel that anxiety in the back of your neck, that isn't imposter syndrome. That is your subconscious realizing that you are operating with a single point of failure. Everything depends on you showing up. You are the server that can never go offline. And when an entire infrastructure rests on one pillar, that isn't stability. That is a structural hazard waiting to happen. Why does this happen? Why do smart, analytical, highly capable professionals fall into this? It's not because you are bad with money. It's because the financial system acts as a flow-through mechanism, not a storage mechanism. Analyze the flow of your money. It doesn't arrive in your account as freedom. It arrives pre-assigned. Before you even log into your bank app, the system has already fragmented your capital. First, taxes. As a high earner, you know the W-2 income is the most inefficient vehicle for wealth. You are taxed on the seed, not the harvest. Then the housing market takes its share. You live in a specific zip code not just for comfort, but as the entry fee for your social tier. Then the lifestyle infrastructure, the lease, the insurance, the private tuition, the subscriptions. Your income flows in as a massive river, but the riverbed is full of holes. It leaks out through dozens of invisible exits. This is the design. The system loves a high earner who spends everything. You are the perfect economic conduit. You work hard, you generate value for your company, and you immediately redistribute your earnings back into the economy. You are efficient, you are productive, but you are not accumulating. You are simply processing capital. Your brain doesn't register this as a loss because the money buys comfort, but comfort is the anesthetic. It sedates you just enough so you don't ask the hard questions. Let's make this concrete. Let's look at a user profile. We'll call him Alex. Alex is a senior director. He's 38. He makes $350,000 a year. By every metric, Alex has made it. Alex isn't stupid. He doesn't buy gold chains. He maxes out his 401k. But let's audit the engineering of Alex's life. His mortgage is $8,000. His cars and insurance is $2,500. His kids' education is $4,000. Dining and social obligations are $3,000. Travel and leisure average another $2,000. After taxes, Alex is barely breaking even.
Alex walks into a room wearing a tailored suit, projecting confidence. But inside, Alex is terrified. He knows that he cannot have a bad quarter. He cannot take a sabbatical. Alex is running a corporation called Alex's Life, and that corporation has huge revenue, massive overhead, and a 2% profit margin. If Alex were a publicly traded company, Wall Street would short his stock. Why? Because he has no margin for error. Alex doesn't feel poor, he feels important. But structurally, Alex is in the same position as someone living paycheck to paycheck. The numbers are bigger, but the dynamic is identical. He is one glitch away from a system failure. This is where psychology locks the door. We call this lifestyle inflation, but in engineering terms, this is baseline resetting. Every time your income jumps, your baseline for what is acceptable resets to a higher level. You get the promotion, you upgrade the car. You get the bonus, you renovate the kitchen. Each upgrade feels like a reward. You tell yourself, I work hard, I deserve this. But collectively, they act as a ratchet mechanism. A ratchet can only turn one way. It is very easy to scale up your lifestyle. It is psychologically devastating to scale it down. Once you get used to business class, economy feels like torture. These are the golden handcuffs. They are comfortable, they are polished, but they are heavy. You start defending the cage you built. You convince yourself that you need this salary to maintain stability. But what you call stability is actually fragility. Real stability is being able to survive without a paycheck for 5 years. What you have is a high wire act, where you are juggling expensive crystal balls, and you can never, ever stop juggling. Here's the mental shift that 99% of high earners never make. They confuse income with wealth. Income is how much money you make in a given time. Wealth is how much time your money buys you. These are not the same variable. High earners focus on the top line, revenue. They're obsessed with the salary negotiation. Wealthy people, sovereign individuals, focus on the bottom line, structure. Think of it like building a dam. Income is the water rushing down the river. It's powerful, it's loud. Wealth is the reservoir behind the dam. It's quiet, it's deep. If you have a massive river but no dam, the water just rushes past you. Most high earners are standing in a raging river trying to catch water with a bucket full of holes. Wealth is built by structure, not by effort. Income depends on your presence. Wealth functions in your absence. When you only have income, every decision is heavy because every decision risks the source. But when you have wealth structure, the pressure drops. You decouple your survival from your labor.
This brings us to the most dangerous advice you've been given. Just work harder. You are already working hard. You are already optimized. Asking you to work harder is like asking a car that is redlining to go faster in first gear. You don't need more RPMs. You need to shift gears. Effort has diminishing returns inside a broken system. If your personal burn rate is 90% of your income, earning 10% more barely moves the needle. Taxes and expectations will consume that margin instantly. You are solving a structural problem with a brute force solution. High performers burn out not because they are weak. They burn out because they are over-leveraged. You don't need to be more productive. You need to be more strategic. Architecture always beats effort in the long run. So, how do we reverse engineer this trap? How do you move from high income to high net worth? It requires a complete system reboot. Phase 1 is the audit. Stop looking at your income. Look at your burn rate. What is the exact cost of being you? Identify the phantom costs, the things you pay for just to cope with the stress of your job. Phase 2 is the cap. This is the critical step. You must artificially cap your lifestyle. The next time you get a raise, your lifestyle does not move. You must treat that new money as if it doesn't exist. That delta is not spending money. That is sovereignty capital. Phase 3 is asset architecture. You stop buying liabilities that require maintenance. You start deploying capital into solvent systems. You move money from the income column to the asset column immediately. You build the reservoir. The goal is to reach the crossover point, the exact moment when the yield from your assets exceeds your monthly burn rate. The day that happens, You are free. You might keep working, but the dynamic changes instantly. You are no longer working because you have to. You are working because you choose to. The hydraulic pressure on your chest vanishes.
We are reaching the end, and this is the most important part. The barrier to doing this isn't math. The math is simple. The barrier is identity. You have spent decades building an identity around being a high earner. You derive your self-worth from your ability to provide, to spend, to display success. To break the trap, you have to be willing to kill that version of yourself. You have to be willing to look less successful to your neighbors so you can actually be successful in your bank account. You have to be willing to drive the older car while your portfolio compounds in the dark. Society rewards the display of wealth. It punishes the accumulation of wealth. The system wants you to be a predictable consumer, but you are an engineer of your own life. There is a quiet truth that the truly wealthy know. You don't escape the system by running faster inside the hamster wheel. You escape by stepping off the wheel and buying the cage. The people who break free aren't luckier than you. They simply stopped confusing comfort with freedom. They realized that a high salary is just a tool. It can build your dream house, or it can cut your hand off. It depends on how you hold it. If you are tired of the pressure, if you are tired of the golden handcuffs, if you are ready to stop being an operator and start being an architect, then you are in the right place. This channel is a blueprint for sovereign individuals. We decode the systems of money, leverage, and asset construction. We don't do hype. We do engineering. If you want to understand how the game is really played, subscribe to this channel. Let's re-engineer your reality. Welcome to the channel.